Oh, hi there. It's Monday, it's November 17th, which is Shogi Day. I don't know if it's called International Shogi Day or just Shogi Day. Apparently, November 17th is the day, and that's today, so I'm going to celebrate it by playing on Shogi Wars. It's not going to be the longest stream today. Got a couple things happening at the house, unfortunately, and so I'll play as long as I can, which is going to be probably less than 2 hours. But I'm going to play, so time is of the essence. So I will start beginning now. 10-minute games. See where we left off. We left off at 12.2%. Let's see if maybe we can grow that a bit. Hope everyone's doing well. Haralu, nice to see you. You are the first. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. I've played and won against this player before. I'm on a 5-win streak. Wow. I went on a 5-win streak? Alright, we keep doing our thing. This is going to be a target for when I make the attack over here. A little faster. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Drops a pawn. What do I do? Do I pull here? He takes. I take. He runs. No. He would have 4 pawns. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So well, no, he'd have 3 pawns because he'll drop 1 here. I'll push. He'll take. He'll get his 3rd back. Very interesting. Very interesting. He has 2 pawns, silver and a... But taking here is still... It gives me a gold and a bishop. Drop a pawn. He takes. Drop a pawn. He takes. I take. He takes. No, because it's aiming here. Okay, let's exchange the rooks. Because I get the rook drop here. Although he can take, I take. So I think my move was not right. So I think that was not good. This is a nice defense here. Yeah. But I do have this silver drop. And it's Sumero. It's Sumero. You know, he can't... He can't defend it. Well, he can bring his king down, and I bring my gold over, and then I take. Interesting. Yeah, so that is what I said. I come up, so let's take this gold. Sumero again. Gold drop, king runs, rook drop. Can't drop a pawn here. You can drop a silver here. Drop a pawn. Drop a pawn. He drops a pawn. I take. He takes. What about... so I take. What about I drop a rook here?
7分
I drop a... What about I drop a rook here? No, he just takes. Drop a pawn. He drops a pawn. I take. King takes. Drop a rook back here. Drop here. Shoot. Is there something here? come up here.
Tarefu.
Tarehu. Good defense by my opponent. Okay. Yeah, I like that.
5分。
Alright, how about I jump my knight? Interesting. Take. Sorry. Got people coming, as I said. So take. He drops a pawn. Maybe I should have come in this way. Okay. Let's see. Do I have any silver? I don't. On. Knight. Wow. Knight drop. So now I'll have something like this if I do exchange the bishop for the dragon, which I don't think I want to do. 336 or 303. Okay, so it's fast here. He doesn't have many pieces.
3分。
Come up. He takes... should I fork? Should I fork? No. No.
2分
Oh,
30
that's it.
秒
That is a... It's a dead horse. $225. Gosh. Come on. Looking for a bishop or drop here. Wow. He's got pieces, but he doesn't have big pieces. Hey, Surgebringer. Let's come back here. So let's, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? What can I do?
2分
154 to 152. Okay, so I'm up on the clock. And I can defend for a while, and I can attack. Okay. Do I drop the rook? Yes, I do. Drop the rook. He comes up. I drop the silver. Okay.
1分30秒
Arigatou gozaimashita.
頭跳ねです
Okay.
Win. Current streak is 1 win.
It's a good way to get the day started. Danger Sid, hello, hello. And is that Rino Tsuta? Let me try to put this in Google Translate to see if I can get a pronunciation for that. Let's see. Rinosuke. Suke, not ta. K. Rinosuke. I'm so sorry that I'm so bad at names. You can't stay long, Haraloot. So you might actually be gone by now. But thank you for stopping by if you did, or stopping by. It's going to be it's going to be a pretty short stream today. It is Shogi Day. But it looks like this is hello on YouTube. Nichijo, everyday life. Is that Thank you for stopping by. All right. So a good start.
Anata ga gote desu.
Yoroshiku onegaishimasu.
対局開始。
Neko gus. Okay. Or Torizashi. Neko gasu. Okay. Is he gonna do Anaguma? No. Okay. Let's come up. Ooh. Wow. What? What is there any way to defend this? Gold? No. Come out? Bishop here? Bishop here? So Tataki. Pawn drop coming next. Okay. Interesting. Wow. 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 What is this? Who's at our front door? Oh, okay. Should I run? Still defending. I'm still defending just fine. Now I can draw pawns here. Maybe I should have got the gold up. Communication disorder. Oh, did they rage quit? Nope, they're back. Okay. I can get the bishop out. I think a knight drop here is interesting. Silver, then pawn. No. Get the gold up. If I bid the silver up, he drops the bishop, the knight. I wanted to get the gold up. I wanted to get the gold up. Son of a gun.
$7
Sniped. Hey, Rico! Happy Shogi Day! Ogochi, hello. Mako, good to see you. Good morning. And, Yoji Nobori. It's gonna be Miss King and Shogi Wars for you. You forgot to get anything planned? Oh, so you're gonna plan some Shogi Wars. I've got 2 things coming for the house. Two house things. Disasters going on. That last week when I was supposed to, when I left the stream early to wait for the people to take care of the carpenter ants. Well, I waited and waited and waited, and at the end of the day, I got a notice saying that they can't come, and they've scheduled for Monday. So Monday today, later today, Monday, I've got
Current streak is 2 wins.
Those guys hopefully coming out, and then this morning now. A little later this morning, early afternoon, I have people coming out to take care of our water softener, which has just failed. It just failed. It's an ancient water softener that's been here for I don't know how long, since the previous people were here, and so they're coming out to look at to basically offer a new one. Happy I noticed the knight was a bluff. Well, I think you have mixed feelings on Miss King today. Oh, I would love to know your wait. Did you watch the latest Mako? So no spoilers. No spoilers. Did you watch the last episode? Okay. Yeah, I mean, this isn't a spoiler to say. I've fallen off the Miss King excitement cliff. You know, I was loving it for the first 5 episodes or so, for 4 or 5, because it still had promise. But I think it really fell off a cliff, and I totally stopped caring. So I have not seen the last episode. I've seen 7. You know, I've seen the first 7, but the final, you know, double length episode I have not seen. But the thing was, as I was watching the 7th episode, I was predicting what they're gonna do. They're like, you know, this is gonna happen. Here's gonna be here's gonna be how the record goes. Here's gonna be what happens for the final game. Here's gonna be the stakes for the final game. And I'm predicting this stuff. It felt like, so Emperor Rex, I didn't see you. Good day. It felt it just feels so predictable. It feels so predictable and by the numbers, and I really feel I'm not going to say. I don't want to give any spoilers because I already said, you know, what would happen in the 8th episode. But you know, because it'd be like if I said what I thought it was, which turned out to be true. You know, we learn in episode 7 that, you know, what I said as episode 7 was playing, I predicted how things would happen in the last episode, and those came to be true by the end of the 7th episode. So, but I don't want to give spoilers. But the thing is, it's good to hear that there's a lot of shogi shown in the last one. The thing is, so I think the main actress, is just so bad. She's just so bad. She doesn't come across to me as a shogi player. She doesn't come across to me as anyone I can care about. You know, her emotional range feels like there is no range. You know, it's I don't want to just criticize actresses, but like she feels terrible. She feels to me terrible. I like the actress that plays the Joryu, the other shogi player. That's possible, Rico, I guess. I don't think so, though. I think her facial gestures are just terrible. Like, her facial... What she expresses with her face, I think, is just... bad. It's just bad. I think it's just bad. It doesn't reflect... What it reflects to me, it looks to me like an actor trying to act. And it looks like, alright, try to make it look like you're in thought now. And she's got these dead eyes. She's got her eyes don't shine with intelligence. And I realize that that's a shot. I realize that is a very nasty shot to say about somebody. But like, I think the same thing with, you know, her brother in this episode, her you know, the half brother. In the preview, I said, I don't know about this guy. I hope this is not the main antagonist because he does not look smart. You know, and I think he looks, so it's you have Asuka and you have that guy, both of which have just sort of low intelligence eyes. I apologize. I'm just saying my feelings. These are mean things to say, and I probably shouldn't. But they seem to me that they have low intelligence eyes, and I'm a big believer, as you might be able to tell, that you can sort of tell someone's intelligence by their eyes. But anyway, there's those two characters, and then there is the dad and the new mom, or the dad's new wife. I dream of Shogi. You're dying over here. The dad, you know, the top pro, the dad and his wife, they are so evil, like they're so comically evil. Like I honestly, in the past few episodes, I've been expecting his wife to just be like, have a mustache that she's twirling, going like, yes, what evil can I do now? Yes. Like, oh, I'm also going to make my son's career bad too. Yes, because I can. And it's just like, what is even happening? What's even happening in here? And so now Minzoku Sento. Ohayou gozaimasu. What does this say? This let me I'm gonna translate your message. I wish I could read it. First time seeing it. Okay. Let me switch the scene a bit here while we're talking. While we're talking Miss King. The only characters that I'm semi-liking anymore are, well, I like the Joryu Pro, the wife of the half brother, the wife of the half brother, or the upcoming wife who is being forced to quit. Mako, thank you for the subscription. I didn't hear a sound, but thank you. Thank you. I can't believe it's been a month either. Like, you've subscribed now for 3 months? I didn't even realize we had subscriptions available for 3 months. Thank you. Rico, you say that she gets across being a brat very well because they didn't give her enough to make it worth putting up. Well, so that's the thing is, I think she comes off as a brat because she acts like a child, because she looks like she's not an adult. I think she doesn't look like an adult, like grown person to me. She looks like a little kid who doesn't have much going on in her brain. And I think that's a major difference to me with this and Queen's Gambit, where the Queen's Gambit actress, obviously these shows they're picking for beauty. Obviously, they're picking in some regard they're picking for looks. In both cases, Queen's Gambit and Miss King. But the Queen's Gambit actress looks like an intelligent person. And her gestures looked like that of a chess player, and she acted like she could be in the universe. Again, this could be writing, but I feel that Non, or the Asuka actress, I have no idea what's going to even happen from her because she has no emotional range. So it's like whatever is she showing on her face, any set of words can come out because she has no emotional. There's no emotional range of her face. So I don't know what this character is thinking. So I have to wait till hearing the words, and the words are almost the words I feel are sometimes like just ridiculous. Like my last hope for the series was when she was with the trainer, with Todo's trainer, or Todo's sensei, I believe, the teacher who was going older, and then she acted like a spoiled brat. And what I wanted, and obviously I have my own feelings for this show, or my own hopes. My hopes for this show is that it gets people excited about shogi. That's my one and only hope, really. My sub hope is that there's a show that I enjoy watching, but my one hope is that it gets people to love shogi. And so one of the things, just like Queen's Gambit did, and one of the things that I really wanted was, and this is, I went into this in the podcast, the preview episode for the podcast, where I talked about how I want her to be entranced with shogi. I want this character to love shogi. They can have this revenge arc, but I was hoping that she would start to love shogi and show that, like, her revenge maybe crumbles away, and this love of shogi is what drives her to higher heights. That was my hope. And so with this sensei, I was hoping that, okay, this is her last chance now to find that love of shogi and just like, boom, hit the ground running. Sort of like in Hachi One Diver, when he starts doing the marathon sessions with Nikogami Two Gods and things like that. Sort of like in Hikaru no Go, you know, these are all well-trod memes. But then she said, like, what did she say? Like, I want to end this world of SHIT. Something like that. She is like, her reasoning for wanting to play or wanting to win is to like to bring down this world of poop. And it's like, oh, come on. So we're supposed to believe. So here's what we have to do. Here's how we have to suspend our belief. So we have to believe that a character who played shogi until age 8 and then quit comes back over 20 years later and is playing, you know, sees this high-level mate in a championship game and is playing at an extremely high level. She's a little rusty, but within a week, she is playing at a Joryu professional level. And within another few days, she's beating a C-class player. So there's one major suspension of disbelief. So we're supposed to disbelieve that. The other is that she is doing this with revenge as a motive. She's doing this not because she loves shogi and is entranced by it and is just like head down because she loves it. She's doing it because she wants to end this world of poop. I like, what? And then the suspension of disbelief that the Todo, that all of a sudden there's these people beating him up because he's a terrorist. And you know, these evil villains in the JSA or whatever are like, should we end her? They're twiddling their mustache. Should we end her pro exam? No, see? I'm gonna beat her, see? And it's like, what? What? As I said, so my thing was, and I've said this a couple times, and this was after like the 4th or 5th episode. It seems to me like this is a show. This character, the Asuka character, she has no agency. This is a character who has no agency. She is doing nothing. The whole plot is things are happening to her. She is doing nothing. So she is doing nothing herself to deserve any sort of cheering, any sort of compassion, any sort of, except for the first episode when she's a kid, nothing for empathy. There's no way to relate to this character because she's just a fake character. She's just a fake character who is a shogi god. She didn't work for it. She didn't work for her skill. She just has skill. You know, everything else is happening to her. Bad things happened. They set her up. They put her, you know, in jail for a little bit. They made her sign this thing. They are, you know, because everything is a they doing to her. She's not actually doing anything. She has no agency in any of this show. There's no decisions for her to make. And it's just, I find it to be really, really uninteresting. And I can't like her as a character. And I can't like Todo as a character anymore because, you know, I was waiting for this great arc of why he hates Yuichi, the dad. I was waiting for this great arc of like Yuichi was his sensei or he was a rival and, you know, something and you know, they battled and stuff like that. But what happened was he qualified for a title match. He lost in the title match. The champion was a little mean. He said, you know, you're not good. You're not good at this game. You know, you're not ready for this. And then he politely said, he's sorry for his dad dying. And maybe there's some sort of reading between the lines that happened in between there. I don't know, but that was it. That was it. It was a 5-second exchange that triggered this entire guy's spiral of life, like his life spiral, to punching the in Oza or whatever the title was, to punching the champion, to losing his place as a shogi professional. So he because someone said some mean words to him in 5 seconds. Some in the most polite way possible. Someone said some mean words for a few seconds. So he decided to punch him. He decided to throw away his career, and he let his life spiral out of control. And it's like, well, that was underwhelming. That was underwhelming. And then they spend like, how long did they spend throwing his father's remains into the air? In an 8-episode series. In an 8-episode series of short episodes, they spent like, it felt like 25% of all the screen time. That's not really it. It was probably what, 5 to 10 minutes, but they spent on that scene of them throwing the dust, the ashes into the sky. And it's like, what is even happening? What is even... Don Vito, good to see you. You come here with great respect. We're discussing Miss King. Yeah, Miss King. Enrico says, you don't know how anyone is supposed to be interested in shogi from this show. This show casts the shogi community in a terrible light. Yeah, like seriously. There's no excitement really for shogi in it. There's so little excitement for it. The characters are so unlikable. And the plot is just so comic book villainous. It's a real opportunity lost. It's something, I have received one sub from someone who came to shogi from Miss King, so I'm grateful for that. BK1P has subbed and given a Ko-fi donation. So Miss King, Miss King got me a couple bucks, so I'll take that. But he is the only person who has said he's come from Miss King. Mako, you say, you think the show had her like shogi by telling, not showing. So that's another thing. So this is something I said. This is something I said before. I love that phrase. That what this show does. This show tells. It doesn't show. Everything is coming out by telling, not showing. And that's just bad. To me, that's just bad. Like, that's just bad television series production. They're telling you that she's good. They're telling you this other. They're not showing anything. They're telling or implying that she must like something, or they're not. It's part of the problem is, I think, and I in some way do feel a little bit for the writers, is that, like I said, I think this actress has no emotional depth. So there's nothing on her face that is saying anything. Like, she's like, I don't like when she's sitting there in that one of the first games, she's like, and her eyes open up like they're saying, act like you're interested now, and then she licks her tongue like, act like you're like. It's like she's doing a terrible job of trying to act like an exaggerated manga, almost. Like, oh, lick your tongue, like you really like this position or something, and it's just like, okay. The Old Man's Shogi Club was about the best representation. Yes. The Old Man's the Oji-san, the Shogi Club, was the best part of the series, as far as I'm concerned. And it was so short. It was the shortest part. I want a spin-off series of that club just watching those guys play. It's so frustrating because you think the bones of this series have the potential to be good, but the execution, yeah. So that's the thing is, I thought the bones of this, like as you say, the bones of this series could be really good. I think the execution is really bad. I think the actors are, maybe the material is rough, and I'm not giving the actors enough credit, but I think the actors are really, really, really not very good. The three leads, Asuka, her brother-in-law, or her brother, her stepbrother or half-brother, and her dad's wife. I would say those are the three main characters. Maybe not. Maybe Todo replaces the C-class player. Mithrandir, yeah, merch. Get that merch. This comparison is unfair, but Kiriyama also didn't like Pro Shogi initially. But even 10 episodes in, we see him connect with the Shogi community. Yeah. Yeah, he was doing it sort of because, it was his way. It was his only way. It was his way out. It was his way out and through, his horrible situation. But yeah, he does connect with that, and you see the board in his house. You see the board. You see that he has very little in his house, and you see that he has a board there. So you can sort of they're showing you that shogi is important to him. They in earlier episodes they showed him at his own board sitting there studying. They showed him working. They showed him doing this stuff. There's none of that. There wasn't, what's her name? Asuka doesn't have a shogi board in her room. She wasn't sleeping on the board. She wasn't playing. When Todo would ask her to play, she wouldn't want to play. Yeah, it's kind of war. Mithrandir, we're talking about Miss King. So there has been a shop.shogidad.com for a long time. And just recently, the only reason I'm bringing it up again is that I added a new hoodie with the Shogi. The only hoodies available were Nekobisha. There wasn't the Shogi Otosan, the Shogi Dad, but that's there now. Yeah, Mithrandir, it's on Netflix. It's a Netflix series. If you haven't seen the podcast, I do a preview of it. So the Shogi in the West podcast. Let me copy this one here. Oops. This was my preview episode. Yeah, Mako, that is the problem. Yeah, the shipping is the problem. I don't know, I don't know what I can do about that. It's obviously I don't run this shop. It's through fourthwall.com, which does these sorts of shops for lots of YouTubers and Twitch people and stuff like that. It's unfortunate that in a world of Amazon where you can get free shipping, we can't. The shipping is sometimes prohibitive for this shop, but that's why the clothes themselves, I put a very small amount that goes to me. It's almost like nothing. I just wanted to have shogi merch available to people if they wanted to wear shogi clothes, and so that's what that is. I get barely nothing from this thing, and I can't set the shipping and stuff like that. I did try way back when. I did try to go through Amazon. Amazon lets you make merch and sell it, and obviously you get the benefit of their return policy, their shipping, etc., etc. they rejected me. They rejected me. So, Amazon confirmed. Amazon hates shogi. It's the chess mafia. It's the chess mafia. Something I never thought I would say on this channel, talking about the chess mafia. That I'll call it meme. I'll call it meme, but I don't know if like Hans Niemann and people like that really believe in this stuff. But the chess mafia is keeping shogi down. That's why they turned me down. You feel like it can't be better than Hachu and Diver. Nothing is better than Hachu and Diver. Nothing is better than Hachu and Diver. Well, Hikaru no Go. Hikaru no Go is up there. But in terms of live action, there is nothing better than Hachi One Diver. Actually, in tradition of Japanese cinematography to show details with few addition of words, dialogues. Yeah, so it's a shame that this show does so much telling and not showing. Yeah, Marco. If you pretend they're playing shogi, Hikaru no Go is the best shogi anime. I mean, that's... I think I've said that before as well. I totally agree. It's so good. And it does slightly have shogi. I do think it is where I learned of shogi. I think from Kaga, one of my favorite characters in the early series of, the early episodes of that anime or manga had Kaga of the Shogi Club, who is a former Go prodigy, youth, a strong youth player, heavily driven by his father, and who just could not be as good as one of the other main characters. So he quit. And he quit and came running to Shogi, and now he found a better game. Kaga is awesome. I want the kimono with the big king logo, here. That would be amazing. It'd be amazing to have a t-shirt made like that, sort of in that shape of that Kaga kimono, like with the styling of it with the king on there. It'd be so good. And I watched the entire series, and I still have it on the original fan subs. So the fan subs, the fan subs are so much better than professional subs. It would say, it'd have the king, and then in the little, they'd write in parentheses, king. So you'd know that it's king. It's so good. Everything, those fan subs of Hikaru no Go are so much better in my opinion, in my humble opinion, than the ones that came out many years later that were, professionally done and subbed. The subtitles are so much more compelling. Obviously, I don't know what they're actually saying, but there's so much more life in the fan sub Hikaru no Go than the professional sub Hikaru no Go. It's Fide Mafia. Fide is closed, private, corrupted club. JSA is private club 2, like it was in Tokugawa time, kept by 2 to 3 main schools. Rico, you used to sell a shirt that was sort of based on Kaga's kimono, but you only had one sale. I believe it. I've had shop.shogidad.com for a long time, and I am the number one customer. Let's just say I am the number one customer. Well, I mean, that stands to reason. That stands to reason that I'm the number one customer. But I probably have bought more things than everyone else combined. I really, it is a continual surprise to me. Honestly, it's a continual surprise to me at how few t-shirts sell, especially the $20 t-shirt. Or is it 16? Or is it even 16? Apologies for shilling the shop here. I'm going to go in incognito mode. Not the most compelling site, but so there's it's a $15 tee, and I'm making almost nothing on this tee, like I said, and because I know that shipping is going to be something. So I thought I just thought like, surely we're going to get this is going to get sales. And not, again, not that I'm going to make any money off of this stuff. I was just surprised. And maybe people don't like the design, but I just think like if people were releasing shogi shirts, like there was a time, maybe I'm just such a nerd, but like I'm so craven or not craven. I'm so hungry, let's just say. I'm so hungry for shogi merch and shogi media and shogi things that like if someone would have released if someone on Shogi Harbor says like, oh, I've got these new shogi shirts, and as long as they're not vulgar, or as long as they're not vulgar, or there's something that someone my age could wear, I'd be buying it just to support anything. So I'm very surprised. I am very surprised at how I guess I'm just weird then. People just don't want merch as much as I thought they might. Hey Foradun, great to see you. So this is I always hesitate to bring this stuff up because I feel bad because I don't want to guilt people into buying this stuff, because again I'm making it does give me $2 to $3 but like it's not like this is this I haven't even gotten enough money from this. There haven't even been enough sales from this such that I don't know what the number is such that they pay me out, but I haven't even hit that cap yet. So it's like $25 or $50. They won't pay you like $1.50. They wait until you hit a certain threshold before sending out the check. And so I've never hit that threshold on this site in like a year of being open for the shop. And I think that threshold is like $25 or $50. So it's pretty low. So I am in no way saying this to try to shill this thing. I just thought like, I thought that this was a community service that people would be like, oh, cool, I can get a shogi shirt. Because like I went on a spree on Amazon. I bought like 5 whatever shogi shirt I could find on Amazon, and most of them weren't very good, but I got them, and just because I wanted shirts, I wanted some shogi stuff, and yeah. So anyway, it's weird. It's very weird. What am I doing here? Forward, thank you. And the crew. So you do in YouTube videos, on all my YouTube videos, people who do what is this? I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to find this. I'm trying to find one of my episodes here. You do get put in the notes. There's in the YouTube notes for every show. There's the list of Ko-fi supporters, and there's the merch troop. And yeah, so there are five people that have given their name basically. All right, Don Vito, have a great night. Have a great night. Hope your shogi promotion is doing well. And yeah, and on that note, I have no water. So I'm going to take a quick little break, and I'll be right back. All right, back. One thing that I wanted to say. I'm pretty firm now. December 2nd is going to be the 24-hour Shogi stream. It's a Tuesday, starting on Tuesday morning, December 2nd, and I'll put a note in the Discord. But the 24-hour farewell to Shogi Club 24 stream is looking like it's going to be December 2nd. W, you'll continue your Shogi promotion mission with average 10 people a week. That's 10 people's a lot. That's good. That's good. To grow the Shogi Twitch community, would it be worth to interact with other board game streamers? I don't know. I'm kind of just like I'm just some old dude. I don't know if I really have much in common with a lot of streamers. Hey, virtual medical Dr. Ayaka, good to see you. And also, I don't really love other board games. I'm not really a board game guy. I'll play them with my family occasionally, or if someone would bring out something like Friends or whatever, I think I could play. But it's not something I'm really passionate about. And, yeah, even small things like regularly rating them. Yeah, so one thing I need to do better. It is nearly 2 years of streaming now. At the end of the December, it'll be 2 years of streaming. And one thing I'm still terrible at is rating. And... I've got to figure out a better. I've got to figure out how I can get that into my. I even have a note that's still on this desk. Talks about things like, enable the power, make sure do not disturb is on. This checklist of things when starting, but it also says to raid. I don't know if that'll help. I have my doubts personally, but I should be doing it regardless. So there are some Go streamers out there that have been very kind in raiding me. I do not play Go anymore. I really stopped around 18 years ago. But for many years would still, every New Year's and into the new year, do a marathon of Hikaru no Go. Yeah, I played Go. I enjoyed it a lot. But I never loved it. And it never, it's just, everyone's different. Everyone's different. For me, I think the type of game that I prefer is a shogi chess type game where there's a more concrete idea. There's a more visceral feel to it. You're capturing a king. You're chasing. You're capturing pieces. You're surrounding things. You're moving. It feels to me it's more of a thrilling game versus Go, which is beautiful, but it's the ending is often, most of the time, anticlimactic to me. It's you play a good game and then you pass, and then you count. And it's just you negotiate. Someone said the negotiation. I can't remember who said it. The difference between the games where it's the negotiation. I think Z-Kid might have said it. Z-Kid is also a very strong Go player. Rico, you keep meaning to get into contact with Sean from Starpoint since he mentions Shogi every now and then. Yeah, well, he had started mentioning Shogi in back-to-back episodes. And it sounded like he was starting to play it. But then I don't think he's mentioned it since. I give him credit, the things you learn as you start doing things that you can appreciate. That sometimes it takes some things it takes doing in order to appreciate someone So like some of the things that I have come to appreciate from podcasters and streamers as well, that I never really gave them credit for. For example, like interviewing, the biggest, I think, of the chess podcast is called Perpetual Chess Podcast, and he's been doing it for years now. And even now, although he has gotten better, but even now, it's been he is what I would say, he's a very bad interviewer. He's actually a bad interviewer, but his guests are good and they make up for it. And so I love the podcast. I've always loved the podcast. And it has a sense of authenticity. When the interviewer is bad and just isn't good with his words and doesn't follow up on their question, on their statements, like that's one of the things that kills me when I'm listening to interesting interviews, where it sounds like he has a list of things that he wants to ask. The person just said something really interesting, and now the interviewer is like, it changes the subject. And it's like, no, follow up on that. I want to hear more. So I've always thought, he's a really bad interviewer. But now that I have done interviewing, it's like, oh boy, this is really hard. This is really hard. And it's like, I'm terrible at it. So it's like, I listen back to my own interviews and it's just like, gosh, I'm even worse. And I'm thinking to myself, gosh, I'm worse than some of most of these chess podcasts. And it's not obvious. Maybe some people are naturals at it, but like, it's not obvious at a glance, or even listening to interview podcasts like I have, for so long. It's not obvious how hard it is. And I think sometimes that reason is because the podcasts that someone like me ends up listening to, I do listen to a lot of podcasts, but the ones that have interviews, the reason they got in front of my eyeballs is because they're popular podcasts. And the reason they're popular podcasts is that they're good, is that these people are good interviewers. I think the only exception in the list of podcasts that I listen to where people are good interviewers, the only exception is Perpetual Chess Podcast, where I think even after all these years, I think he just doesn't have it. He's just a bad interviewer. But the shows are still worth listening to because the people on it are, because his guests are so good. And I have to believe he's working on it. It's just hard. I'm working on it and mine are terrible. And the thing is, so that thing that I talk about when I'm playing, when I'm streaming Shogi, most often when I'm streaming Shogi, not as much as when I play over the board. And we'll talk about this. I talk about over the board and off stream stuff. I'll make a mental note of that. But like, when I'm streaming, a lot of times, I'll say it's a fog. It's like a fog. I'm just not seeing the board. I'm not seeing it. And I don't know what it is, and I can't explain why I can't see it. I can't explain to the viewers why what I'm doing is so bad. Like, I can't explain why I'm not seeing these mates or why I'm not seeing these tactics. I can't explain it because I feel like if I was watching the game, or no, I know it is, because when I would rewatch streams, even days later, I'd immediately see all these things I'm missing. So like, I'm a regular viewer watching these streams because I don't remember everything that happened, but like, I'm watching these streams, and even for games that we didn't review. So like, say this last game, I played this game, I'm going to assume I made some mistakes, and we haven't reviewed it though. So we have not reviewed this game. I bet you tomorrow when I rewatch this stream, if I'm watching that game, I'll be like, oh, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? Why didn't I do this? It's like I see this stuff when I'm watching immediately. So I think podcasting has a lot like that, because when you're trying to do an interview, you're listening to what the person is saying. You're trying, for one, because me, I'm a fan of anyone on my podcast, like anyone who has come on. I consider them a friend, and I'm sort of a fan of theirs. So I'm listening as a fan. I'm listening as someone just listening to a conversation. I'm thinking in the back of my mind, does this topic have legs? Like, do we stick to this topic? How much more time does this topic have? Can we do this? Or if the person said something interesting that I want to come back to, it's like, oh, I've got to bookmark this. I've got to make a mental note. He mentioned equipment, or Zeke had mentioned this lesson. So I need to talk. We need to let this topic run its course, but I have to remember that we need to come back to this mental topic. So it's like, it's weird because you're listening. You have your list of things that you want to talk about, and you're sort of going through those. You don't want to have dead air. So you're thinking about like what I'm going to ask next. And then you're also trying to accumulate these ideas that are coming up from the viewer, or from the person who's being interviewed. And it's just something I'd never done before. And so listening back to those is rough for me. Listening back to my interviews is very rough. Some of the speech patterns that I have when I'm listening, I don't like to listen back to. Some of the topics that I think we could have gone into, I sometimes, it just like the fog, it just flies out of my mind. There are other times where this has happened twice. I think this has happened at least twice. I think it happened just to Steven once. It happened to Rico, I think, another time, where they kept talking on a topic. I think they said something, and then they paused, and then they kept talking on the topic. But in that pause, I started talking. So I heard myself. So I didn't even hear them start speaking. But when you play back the podcast, you hear them still talking and me talking over them. And it's like, oh, yeah, I'm talking over this person, potentially saying something interesting. It's not because I'm trying to talk over someone. It's just, I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it because my voice took my ears. And so I'm working on this. I'm trying to give enough time. I'm trying to give enough time for them to finish their thoughts without them feeling uncomfortable with dead air. And I'm trying to, if something feels like it's been resolved, I don't want them to have to just hum and hem and haw. And I'd rather that be me. And so I have so much more respect now for these people doing these interview podcasts, or just interviewing in general. And it's amazing. Streamers, I'm the people that play at a high level and do these things at a high level while talking. To me, it's mind blowing. Because like I said, I've been doing this for almost 2 years now, and I don't know if I'm any better at it. I don't think so. If I am, it's not much better. And this is what I wanted to talk about earlier, is that weekends like this past weekend really put that into focus for me. So this Friday we played the Lee Shogi event. I had a great win. That one of my wins on Friday was the highest rated player that I have ever won against. I won't say beaten. I won against. And so, that felt good. But, I don't know how serious he was taking it. It's a Lee Shogi event. Lee Shogi has the weird clocks. Lee Shogi has its own set of weirdness. We played the games. The rest of the games were okay. And then I played Shogi Wars on Friday to finish it out. And I did not play well. I did not play well. And Saturday, however, Saturday morning, I had a cup of coffee. And I'm like, you know what? Let me just go play on 81 Dojo. Let's see how I do. I was talking, I had been talking on Friday about how I wanted to sort of get out, either sink or swim out of that 2-dan level. So so Saturday morning is when we played. So Saturday morning, I've got my coffee and I sit down in front of 81 Dojo thinking, I'm going to play these games. I am going to avoid people with tens of thousands of games played and massive win streaks. So I avoided that. But I was playing. I put up challenges. People were very slow to accept challenges. I guess that's middle of the night Japan time. But long story short, I played some 2-dans. I played some 3-dans. I was killing people. I was playing, for me, so well. And, I was getting openings that I'm familiar with. Mostly static rook stuff or third file rook that did not go into opposing. And I just was winning. And then the 2 games I lost. The 2 games I lost on Saturday, one was against a 4-dan where I had 2. It was up and down. It was a great a quick engage Torizashi game, and I had my chances. Like I had winning chances. I think in that game, and I came out of it. He won, but I felt great coming out of it. And then the other game I lost was against I Dream of Shogi, which I thought I played great. And his Yose is just too good. His Yose is just too good, and so I got a great position, which the engine would call winning position, but there's no such easy thing in shogi. And so those were the only 2 games I lost. The only 2 games I lost were against higher level, basically 4-dan level 81 Dojo players, and in both those games I had my chances. And so I was like, because on Friday, that game that NinWorld beat me in so badly, I felt so much at a loss. Like I think almost like I have never felt before. I wish NinWorld was here. He beat me so badly and so quickly that I wasn't joking on stream on Friday. I said, I don't think I'm going to go to the club tomorrow. I feel so devastated by this loss. Not that I ever expect to win against him, but not to just be so thoroughly beaten. And I don't think he even spent a minute and a half on his clock. He had berserked and was playing so fast. I've never been beaten like that before. But I sort of sucked it up. I had my coffee. And so 81 Dojo on for the first time ever for me. I was there Saturday morning with my coffee, and it felt like I was over the board almost. It felt like I was playing at the club. So I won a bunch of games. And the 2 games I lost, I was extreme. They were to 4-dan players. And in both those games, I thought I played fine. And so that was great. And then I did not go to this weekend for me was a 3-club weekend. One of those rare 3-club, like the Blue Moon events, where Silicon Valley meets on Saturday, East Bay meets on Sunday morning as usual, and so San Francisco meets on Sunday afternoon. And so the plan was I was going to go to them all. But that NinWorld thing put me in a tizzy. And then I was playing so well on Saturday morning when I played a bunch of games. I don't know, 8 games. I think I won 6 or I won 5 and I lost 2, something like that. And I thought, I'm playing so well. Now I'm playing so well. I'm not going to go to this club today just because I'm feeling good. I'm going to go there and lose to some beginner. I'm going to lose to someone who I've never seen before, and I'm going to feel terrible about myself, and I'm going to wash out all my gains. So I didn't go on Saturday afternoon. And then Sunday came along, and my wife and I were a little sick and still feeling a little whatever. But so we didn't go, and there was a lot of rain. So we didn't go to the East Bay, which means we didn't go to San Francisco after. So on a 3 Shogi Club weekend, I went to 0 Shogi Clubs. But I did play online yesterday. So I went back to 81 Dojo yesterday. And I think I played 3 or 4 matches. I did a rematch against someone. He beat me both times, I think. No, I didn't. No. Yeah, yes. Yeah, one of the players is, I think he's 2 or 3 Dan. I think he's 3 Dan. He's the M Show. I'm the MO at 81 Dojo where I have the most miles. He's the M Show, which I think is 3rd place in that. He beat me twice. I think I played 3 games yesterday, and I lost all 3 of them. And all 3 of them were opposing rook. And if I'm not mistaken. And I felt like, one day I feel like I'm completely unbeatable. And the next day, literally I can't win a game. I'm playing good players, but I can't win a game. And I don't know what I'm saying with it. I don't know where I'm going with that, but I still think my opening is... I think my shogi results depend so much on what my opponents do in their opening. If they go into opposing rook, it's going to be hard for me. I can win, but it's going to be extremely difficult for me. If my opponents play something goofy, if they play one of the sort of gimmicky openings, the non-standard stuff, it's going to be tough. But if people play normal stuff that I've seen a lot of times before, I can do well. And I'm still noticing this. I don't know if anyone else would agree. At least at the 1 and 2 Dan level on 81 Dojo, people do not quite fight like they do at Shogi Club 24. And I don't know if that's just limited sample size or what. But like, my 81 Dojo games snowball in a way that does not seem to happen at my level on Shogi Club 24. Even going down a few levels at Shogi Club 24, my games don't snowball like that. My games on Shogi Club 24, if I go up, there's usually still some sort of crazy variations, crazy volatility. But the 1 and 2 Dans on 81 Dojo seemed like they go gracefully. They go soft, they go quietly into that good night. Once I get my Urashina Ryu attack breaks in. And I think even compared to Shogi Wars 1Qs and Shodans, I think the 81 Dojo players seem to not fight as much. Which is weird because they have time to fight. Versus Shogi Wars, where they often don't have time to fight. Although maybe Shogi Wars, they have more time than I do. So not only are they might be down, but they also have the time on their side. So maybe they're more willing to fight. I don't know. But either way, I went quietly into that good night yesterday, and I lost 3 of those. I lost every game I played. I played 3 or 4 games yesterday. What's my let's see if I've got okay. So the last game I lost on Saturday was to I Dream of Shogi. And I thought this was a really good game. This is a good place to end it. And then I lost 3 yesterday. And look at, my rating was getting way up there. Ridiculously up there. I've been saying that I feel like I've been saying that I feel like a complete fraud at 2 Dan on 81 Dojo, but I'm starting to believe my nonsense, because when I play off stream, especially with a cup of coffee, when I play on stream or off stream, there's a level like I'm at the club, like I'm at this comfortable club, and I don't think I bring this out. I don't think I bring this out on stream. Hey, Koshiro, I am the MO. Did you hear? I'm the MO, but the M show beat me 2-0 yesterday. So the two of those losses, these two losses, were against the M show, which is the 3rd place in the mileage. Yep, happy Shogi Day. Happy Shogi Day. Yeah, it's international. Do people call this International Shogi Day? My understanding is that November 17th is Shogi Day, was declared Shogi Day because it's when the castles would they do castle shogi, something like that, back in some era. It's when they would play shogi at the castle. It's the day the shogun dedicated to the castle games. I do show you say it's hard to play while talking. Yeah, I think it really is. Some people do it great though. Some people, that's what I was saying, is that some people do it so well. I'm not even going to mention Hikaru Nakamura. Like, I'm not even going to mention that. That's just an outlier, absurd, ridiculous level of being able to speak and play. But, yeah, I know, it's tough. You say that for you, it's close to your normal rating to talk while playing, just because when you play normally, you're always distracting yourself with YouTube or multitasking. So when I play off stream, there is no distraction for me. Like if I'm playing on 81 Dojo off stream, or sometimes Shogi Wars off stream, there is zero distraction for me. I had my cup of coffee that I was enjoying while doing it, but I was mentally over the board on Saturday and Sunday to a certain extent too, but I just got beat. It's just one of those days where I just kept losing. Hello, Daniel. Nice to see you. When you want to climb rating, you'll just play, and that's usually when you're hitting 2K plus. Okay, on 81 Dojo. Yeah, 81 Dojo is volatile, and I see. You're a bit of an inspiration, I've got to say, because you're playing more than almost anyone that I see. The only person who I would even guess plays more than you these days on 81 Dojo is NMike. NMike 85 from Brazil. Almost every time I come back to my 81 Dojo screen, I see you playing. It doesn't matter how few people are on, or how many, you're on there. You're grinding Gangi, but you've always been Gangi. You're always been Gangi, right? Even when you do that 8-5, what is it? Not 8-5, 4-5, that 4-5 attack? Interesting. I'm going to play Kyoto Shogi versus no. In celebration of Happy Shogi Shogi Day, I'm going to play Naoona. Kindred, I don't even like variants, but I like playing Naoona.
3 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 1 2
I don't know what the pieces do. You know, I don't know what the pieces do.
3 4 5 6 7 8 9 1
Oh boy.
3 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8
I don't know what this does either. Okay, it's a lance.
2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 1 2 3 4 1 2 1 2 3
How we looking? How we looking?
5 6
Not good. Not good.
3
Could be better.
4 5 6
Ah! It's the weirdest game. Arigato Moniwa, good to see you. I do show you say it's not really your style to defend and counter. Oh, is Gangi a defend and counter type opening? All right, we'll play some mini shogi. Every piece is 2 pieces. Yeah, they change everything. I just can never remember. Okay, you're always absorbing some attack. I see.
3 4 5 1
Okay, so I don't remember what I do here.
4 5 6 7 1 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4 1 2
All right.
1
This has to be good, right?
1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 1
Ah.
3 4
Oh, I want that.
6 1 2 3 1
Oh, it doesn't promote. It doesn't promote. I thought it promoted.
4 5
Oh, GG. Oh, GG. Oh, Gangi is Static Rook's 4th file. Interesting. Should I try to play Gangi? All right. One more. What is Judkins? What's Judkins? I don't remember what Jud. I usually will keep challenging naoona until.
1
Oh boy.
3 4 5 6 7 8 9
Until
1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9
until he gets Dobutsu is usually what I'll do. Whoa.
7 8 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 1 2 3
Take.
5 6
If he takes.
7 8 9
No. Oh, no. Oh. All right, that's enough. That's enough variance on Shogi Day. Should I try? Would Gangi help me to potentially? Would Gangi help me to get a better sense of the slower game, or oh, it's getting close. Oh gosh, it's getting close to where I need to stop. Like I said earlier, I've got 2 people coming into the house today. That thing that was happening last week, for the carpenter ants, I waited and waited and waited and waited and waited, and then at the end of the day, they send me a message saying they can't come, and so they rescheduled for Monday without even asking. And so they're coming later today, but now our water softener appears to have died in the middle of the night. We had a huge storm, and it's such an ancient one, they won't even service it anymore. So now someone is coming in any moment now. Someone is coming to deal with to try to sell us a new water softener. So it's a day of house stuff. But so I think this is going to be it. This is going to be it for Shogi Day for me, unfortunately. Hope everyone enjoys your games. You be sure you got to play some, do some tsume, watch Miss King, do something else. Okay, so you asked about Gangi. It's really a balance between defending and attacking. And you have to know how to defend versus a few different common attacks. It feels like it's very easy to break up Gangi. So that's the thing that I have noticed, is that it feels like it's very easy to break up Gangi. You know, it's relatively easy to pull that silver off. You peel that silver off, the roof, and then it's just the 2 golds, sometimes with a king just behind, and then you just have 2 golds. It almost feels like, so when I have tried to play Gangi, it feels like it's easy to peel my silver roof off, and then I'm sitting back with 2 golds and a low king, as if I was playing Urashino Ryu anyway. And I struggle to get my bishop out when I'm trying to play Gangi. So I struggle to activate my bishop, and I end up with a castle that is not so good because it's just 2 golds. That's my limited experience playing Gangi. And then you say to set up a counterattack, but it feels like if I don't already have my bishop engaged, it's difficult for me to make a counterattack because I'm attacking with essentially silver and a rook. So maybe I will rate. I'm not seeing any search and filter. Let's say go. I don't know any of these people. So anyway. Good day. Good day. A good short day of Shogi. What happened on Shogi Wars? Okay. 2-0. 2-0 on Shogi Wars. 2 good games. They were good games. So I'm back on track. After losing yesterday, I'm back on track a bit. The first game I think was really good. And the second one was just making sure I could win a 1 game. So that's going to be it. Thank you, everybody. I wish it could be longer today. I really wish it could. But I'll be out there, and if I see any of you watching, playing on 81 Dojo, I'll probably be. Don't be surprised to see me stalking and watching. So thanks so much. Enjoy your day. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.